Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have a Gibson SG. This is it's a tribute. I don't know why they're calling it a tribute. It is a Gibson, but it's a Gibson tribute. Anyway, I digress. That's what the truss rod cover says. It's a nice little guitar. I mean, it's a real deal, but what we're doing today is changing some pickups, and sometimes that is major surgery. Sometimes it's not. In this case, it is. So let's get to work. I'm going to walk you through what needs to be done to start with. This is not going to be a one video thing. Got to get the strings off, got to get the pick guard off, which means all of the hardware, the bridge, the stop bar, just to get the old pickups out. Yeah, fun stuff. So, you know, I'm not going to show the entire thing. We're going to de-string. I will try to reuse these strings. I'm not 100% sure we can, but we're going to try. He's got 9s on it. So right off the bat, I'm going to restring and pause quickly while I get this off. And then I'm going to get that out, store this stuff, and get the pick guard off. Stand by. So this is why I say sometimes it's easy peasy, nice and easy. Sometimes it's not. These pickups are actually attached to the pick guard instead of having a beauty ring. So, and you got to take the saddle posts out, which means, yeah, this guitar is going to need a complete setup when we're done. You can't just throw it back together and expect it to be what it was. Let's take a look what we got going on under here. Yep, typical. Spring and this. If you don't take the pick guard off, how are you going to put the pickups back in? Because this pick guard actually serves as the pickup ring. There goes the spring. This one's going to be really tricky to put back together. But that's okay. We can handle it. That's why I kind of chuckle under my breath without doing it out in the open. Sometimes guys come in and go, oh, I just need a pickup swap. Is that all? Okay. There's a reason why you're standing at my bench or calling me up. I need a pickup swap. That's all I need. Just to put some new pickups in there. Yeah, if it's an old school guitar or an old school bass that only has 2 wires, which nothing does anymore, and it isn't this kind of setup that requires major surgery, yeah, I just need a pickup swap. These are no fun to put back in. And you can't put them back. You could take them out probably, or get them, finagle them out, but not without taking put it all back together without taking the pick guard off. Nah, I don't think so. It's the good old long spring. Get that long screw back through there. Yeah, it's all setup stuff. At the end of the day, we're gonna have to do a complete setup on the guitar as well. It was probably set up very nicely if I know this customer. He's got lots of guitars and he takes care of them and he sets them up nicely, sometimes by himself. So there's our neck pickup, there's our bridge. So the neck orients with the wire on this side. I try to remember that. I don't want to try to take it around the wrong way. Either way, it's probably going to be the same amount of play. So at this juncture, I am going to just to flip it over and show you what's in the back, because that's where the fun starts. We're just going to tape the pickups here so they can't move for this moment. I am ready to take them out, but I wanted to show you sometimes, oh, I just need my pickups changed. Okay, well, when you get into modern Gibsons, not all of them, but some of them, PCB, printed circuit board. You unplug, it makes it easy to pull out the pickup because it unplugs, and it's labeled right there in the PCB bridge, and it's labeled over here neck. But I've already started, as you can see. You have to bear back, take off the shrink wrap, bear it back to where you know you're going to have enough of the harness to plug back into the PCB. And that's only half of the fun, because red, black, white, green, and bare. It's got 5 wires going into the PCB. You know, Seymour Duncan has the same colors. They don't match what Gibson has. They all have a different value and a different north star, south star. They're all different. So that's what makes it fun. And, you know, these are little tiny, tiny wires. Now I'm going to snip off this harness right close back and put a tape on here and say, okay, this is the bridge. So when I pull it out the other side, I know that's the bridge, just in case it's not denoted on the underside. So here's the point of no return. Don't be afraid. Snip off the bridge harness. And sometimes I will put a B on there, but I'm not going to do it this time. We're going to put a blue tape on the bridge. That way we know when we pull it back through, that's going to be our bridge pickup to get back to the customer. Yahtzee. You follow? So I'm going to pull that one out first, just to show you how it goes. See, tape doesn't like to hold. Bridge. Does it say bridge on the back? Nope, it sure does not. There's our bridge pickup. Orients in there just like that. Gibson humbucker. It says Gibson USA on the pickup, but it doesn't denote that it's a bridge anywhere. I don't know why. But if you do the blue tape trick, you'll always know. And for safety, put a B on it, right? That's one. I don't know why the neck pickup didn't cooperate and stay where I put it. So the next step in this, you got to remember that the wire comes around this way on the neck. That's just my way of remembering how things route. The next step is to pull out the, down in here is the PCB, the printed circuit board, and this says bridge right in, where did my little knife go? I had it out here a second ago. Yeah, I lost it already. Right there, it says bridge down on the circuit board. And right there, it says neck. That makes that part is easy. But what you have to do is pull that harness out, unplug it from the printed circuit board, bear it all the way back so that you have enough to work with thusly. And guess what? The bridge coloring is not the same as the neck coloring. So you better not confuse this little harness with the bridge harness after you take it out. Neat. And that is where we're going to put right, so you don't forget, so you don't get them mixed up. I know this seems redundant to those of you who have done it a million times, but if you've done this a million times, you're probably not watching my channel. And we're going to put a B on this one. So I know that little harness goes to the printed circuit board for the bridge. And yeah, this one is red, black, white, green, bear. The neck one is bear, red, green, black, white. Different. He's not the same. So ever so carefully pluck your harness out from the printed circuit board. These do not have clasps on them or triggers that you have to depress. Thank God for small favors. They even denote it neck, right on the shrink wrap. That's why I put it right back on there. Bridge. I know that one goes to the bridge. Have I said that a million times before? Yeah. And then get a nice sharp razor blade. Use an X-Acto knife if you can, because it will usually save you from slicing your fingers open and cut away from you. And don't go too deep. You don't want to bare any of those wires that are under there or any of the sleeves. Yeah. It was never meant to do this, to take them apart. Gibson doesn't want you doing this. And they put it together in such a way that makes it difficult. So, yeah, the first thing, this white sleeve on here that says neck, so nicely says neck, it's shrink wrap. And we're going to put shrink wrap back, but we're going to have to put shrink wrap on each individual little piece of wire, because we can't let the solder joints touch each other in any way, shape, or manner. I know that makes sense to you. And we're going to cut the black pickup lead all the way back, open it up to give us enough harness to work with to put our new pickups in. Pretty cool. I get a little twinge of anxiety whenever I have to do this, but after you do a couple hundred of them, I might make a mistake. If I do, I gotta fix it. But I have a map. I have a master map that kind of tells you what all of the color codes are for every different kind of pickup. And I refer to it religiously because you can't remember them all. There's no way. I don't care how good you are, how many times you've done this, you can't remember them all. So there is our neck harness that goes back into the printed circuit board. We're going to snip that one off. So I cut them off long like that because you have to have enough to work with, right? Bridge and neck. I don't need to put an N on that one because I know that one is the bridge. I already put a piece of tape on that one. So Back over to the other side. Now I wonder if I'm going to remember that the pickup goes through and the wire on this side orients and goes across. I don't think my memory's that good, but I'm going to try to remember. And there is your neck pickup. Gibson USA. Neck. You follow? So we're done with these. The next step is to mount our Seymour Duncans, by the way, which are labeled. And these are Distortion Mayhem. These are going to be hot pickups. These are somewhere around 4, just under 5 ohms resistance, the Gibson ones. These are 8.5. They're going to thump. And when I tell you thump, I mean they're going to really make this guitar come alive. I like it. The bridge. So we're done with those. We don't need them right now. Now it's time to put our pickups, mount them in here and get them set. And so just the wires are sticking through. This is going to be the fun part. Stand by, I have to check something. I'll be right back. So, point of interest. When you're looking at the hardware and you go, oh, I'll just reuse the old hardware. No, don't do that. Check your pickups. Gibson pickup. Notice the length of the foot right here. Seymour Duncan pickup. Notice the length of the pickups are different. And that's why the supplied screws with the Seymour Duncans are shorter. Pay attention. It may or may not be an issue. There could be enough route down in the body to let those extra long screws go past that extra distance, but you don't want to put this whole thing together and then realize, oh, I wasn't paying attention. Trust me, I'll probably not pay attention on something at some point and screw up. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to use the Seymour Duncan hardware. They usually know what they're talking about, and they very rarely let me down. Very rarely let me down. The springs look about the same length, but the screws are shorter. So, pickup goes in the guitar kind of like so. Make sure that you're putting your pickup in and orienting it right so it says Seymour Duncan and it's not upside down. Follow. And I got to remember that one, as the wire comes from this side, the bridge pickup shoots right through. So what we're going to attempt to do here without too much difficulty is get the pickups set into the pick guard and get that back on there. And that can be tricky enough in and of itself. I'm going to put it through there. Make sure you're oriented right. Get your screw through your spring. And something fell down. My spring did. Make sure that you're oriented right. Yeah. These things are always fun to mess around with. They're always fun, and I say that facetiously because they're never fun. I far prefer the pickup ring style because they're a little easier to deal with. But we'll get it. We will get it. And the trick is that you got to get your spring kind of compressed, hold it down, and get your screw started into the pickup ear. And it, of course, never wants to go that easy. If you can just hold the spring down enough with your thumbnail, fingernail, whatever, and then get the thread right on it, very close to it, it will start. Not like that. Like that. You'll know when it starts. Yeah. Well, we might have to take a different tact here because this one is real. I know these are the biggest pain in the butt because the springs are extra long. Sometimes I snip the springs back, but I'd really rather not do that. Once you get the first one started, you usually are going to be okay. So, just like so. Nope, it just popped off again. I don't think that one grabbed. No, it did not. You pain in the tuchus. Yeah. See, I just need my pickups changed. Just do a pickup swap for me. Okay. Just do a pickup swap. Probably got it backwards now. No, that's right. So you see, you have to be an octopus to do some of these operations. Once you get the first one, my trick is to put the screw through, get the spring on it. By the way, don't tighten the other one up all the way. And then it will sort of, kind of hold itself together when you compress the spring on the other ear. And it's going to make a liar out of me, of course. You know, I'm not going to show you all of this because it's really making an ass of me because that's what springs do. It's because I was trying to sit down and do my work. Stand up. Isn't that the way of the world now? Stand up and do your work. Yahtzee. Did I get it right? Yes, I did. Well, sometimes I amaze my own damn self. And usually just get the pickup level. You're going to adjust that later in the setup anyway. The wire is oriented correctly. I'm going to pause. I'm not going to make you suffer through me fumbling with the other one and putting it in. Stand by. Come on. Focus. Okay. Ta-da. So, yeah, not as easy as it looks sometimes. Fold your wires back like that. Don't try to stuff them through with all the wires splayed out. And you just kind of push them through until you get them. Usually there's quite a bit of room and plenty to get them all the way through. Oh, and a point of interest, Seymour Duncan is so Johnny on the spot with their manufacturing process that they already knew that the neck, I didn't have to remember to put the wire this way because they already do it for you. It can only go in one way unless you put it in upside down. Yeah. So that one goes there, that one goes there. Get your pickups back down into the cavity, hopefully with the wires out of the way. And that is what it should look like. Now, all we're going to do is, I can tell there's wires not where I want them to be, but what we're going to do is put just 1 or 2 screws in, flip it over, just enough screw to hold the pick guard and the pickups in place, all right? And then we're going to flip it over and pull our excess through until it doesn't allow us to do it. You don't tighten these down. Just put 1 or 2 screws in, just enough to hold the pick guard so when we flip the guitar upside down, it stays where you want it. Yeah, fella. What the hell is that other screw hole up there? Alright, you don't want to give me that one? We'll do this one right here. I don't care. I'm going to be difficult. Yeah, just enough to hold them in place. They're a little floppy, but you know, we should have both of our pickups protruding. And I know the longer one is going to be the bridge. Yup, neck, bridge. And once they're protruding like this, yeah, oh, now it's going to be fun time. Tap testing and making sure I know where the wires are going to go, but I always test it. Today's video is going to be pretty much done. Just because we're getting a little long in the tooth. But one last thing that I want to do just to double check. Now I know the bridge pickup wire is longer than the other one. But what we're going to do is kind of tug on the longer one. Just to make sure, yep, I was right. The longer one is for the bridge. Yeah. So we're going to mark that one. We're going to mark it just because tomorrow will be another day when we come back to this and start doing the second video. See, now the wires are where they're supposed to be. Everything is nice and flush. It just took a little bit of tugging on that one wire and the other wire to get it to fall in place where the routes are already in the body. Beautiful, I love it. Yeah. I'm going to put a couple of screws in here just to hold our work where it belongs. At this juncture, we can go ahead and put all of the screws in, but I'm just going to put a couple in to end this video today. And of course, that screw isn't going to cooperate. Get in there. And that's a reveal moment. All of a sudden, wow, we got Seymour Duncans. At least they're mounted. The fun part starts wiring them up and making it all look nice and neat. When you're doing this sort of thing, I say it all the time, neatness counts. We're going to show all that in the next video. Yeah, pretty much in each corner we're good. That one needs a little bit of a shim in it. All right, got the Seymour Duncans installed in the SG. They're mounted. They're not installed. Now, tomorrow's fun is going to be wiring this thing up. And why tomorrow? Well, I got 10 other guitars to work on. That's why. This one is going to be the first guitar on the bench in the morning, and we're going to start it with that. Yeah. Blackjack with 396 guitars. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all your support. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe.